Hamster, what are we playing this week?
Well, I was looking forward to playing Scarlet Nexus, but after a sneeze of bland gameplay sprinkled between an hour of mind-numbingly boring anime banter bullcrap, I'm up for literally anything else.
That bad, huh?
It's not bad, it's just so overdone and soulless. With what little combat I did play, it just felt lifeless after coming right after Dark Souls, and the horrendous storytelling was so painful to sit through with Bayonetta still-frame animation cutscenes and copy-paste generic anime stereotypical archetypes ripped right out of Japan's Rolodex of go-to plot fillers.
I don't think your audience even knows what a Rolodex is.
The game was so anime, I felt like I was being waterboarded in ramen and cooked in a Pocky rotisserie.
Hey, at least you got it on a Humble Bundle deal for charity, so it wasn't a total wash.
I'm so sick of the gaming industry's bombardment of ambitionless action-adventure games. I say we instead go back and play the game that started it all for some enlightenment on the elegance of genre-defining quality.
Wait, go back? How far back?
We're finally gonna go back and review Zelda 1.
Hold up. Zelda started all of this?
The Legend of Zelda for the NES is one of the most influential video games ever made. Of course.
Ugh.
Leave it to this guy to drop a brand new game for a 35-year-old one he's played a dozen times already. Shut up and get off my lawn! I first played this game on the GameCube's promo disc with a ported collection of Zelda 1, 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. Though I loved Zelda, I gave the game to a friend in high school and regretted it every single day for the rest of my life. Yeah, for once it wasn't my parents taking or giving away or selling my things without my permission. It was my own dumb fault. So anyway, I was fresh off Link to the Past and thirsty for more, and with 4 games bundled on that disc, the original Zelda 1 was the closest to the gameplay that I was familiar with, so it really grabbed me regardless of its age. Aside from the fact that those games were special to me, that disc now goes for hundreds of dollars. Enough about the stupid disc, you can play all of those games elsewhere anyway. I am such an idiot. Anyway, Zelda 1. The Legend of Zelda is an open-world action-adventure game where you'll go through challenging dungeons, solve puzzles, and fight all sorts of enemies and bosses with a wide assortment of weapons found along the way. Remember that this is still the NES we're talking about here, though even this game is technically a port of the Japanese-exclusive Famicom Disk System release. But both versions sported an amazing new feature that would permanently set a new standard in gaming, as well as change the way nearly all video games were designed from that point on. They made it gold. No, you idiot! The gold was meant to indicate its revolutionary quality battery. What's so great about a lousy battery? As in a built-in battery, allowing for the cartridge to save player data in up to 3 files for the first time ever. I take it back, batteries for the win. Knowing players could now save their progress, the game was designed to be far more open and allowed players to explore and discover secrets and complete dungeons in almost any order they wanted. You start the game with absolutely nothing and will certainly meet your imminent doom unless you first investigate a nearby cave where an old man gifts you with a sword in one of the most memeable lines in video game history. From there, you're basically set loose and you're free to explore in whatever direction you want. But to beat the game, you'll need to eventually find and clear the 9 dungeons and defeat Ganon. How you do that and go about everything is entirely up to you. I've even seen people play the entire game swordless until they are required to use it to slay Ganon at the end. When you uncover a dungeon, it'll say what level it is, so you can gauge whether to take it on now or come back later when you're better equipped. And once you do beat the game, you can play it all again with a second quest, changing up all of the puzzles and dungeon locations for an extra challenge. This game is loaded with secrets and was deliberately designed for players to experiment and share their findings with their friends, like which walls to bomb or which bushes to burn to uncover hidden caves and goodies. But 36 years later, ain't nobody got time for that, so just use a map online. Now come on, that destroys the mystery and shared discovery that the game was going for! Unless you like randomly bombing every single tile, pushing every block, and burning every bush, then the only friend you'll ever need is the internet. Just like in real life. This game looks like it's from the 80s. But dude, this was the first ever savable home console video game with a huge overworld map and tons of caves and dungeons and mazes all packed into a measly 128 kilobytes. That's like 30 times smaller than a single 3-minute song file. Still kinda looks like poo. You don't even swing your sword, you just kind of gently poke it forward with the aggressive indifference of a postman stuffing junk mail in an inbox. This game is so big and masterfully designed for its archaic hardware that all of its dungeons actually interlink like puzzle pieces to save on file space and compression. even though one of them is a literal swastika. Just pay that no mind. It's really annoying that you can't move diagonally, but you aren't restricted to tile by tile movement, making tight maneuvering really irritating as you get blocked all the time when a stray pixel from a rock stubs your toe. It looks phenomenal. If it's all top down, then why do we see Link from the side? Go easy on Grandpa, he's trying his best. Little green elf boy suddenly appears in the middle of nowhere. Read the manual. Fine. So Link, named after the physical link between the player and the game world, sets off on an adventure across the kingdom of Hyrule to collect the 8 pieces of the Triforce, defeat the usurping evil Pig King Ganon, and rescue the Princess Zelda. There, now was that so hard? But why name him Link? Was it a bad translation, or do they seriously not know the word Avatar? It's a placeholder name that stuck, just roll with it. And why exactly are there 8 pieces of the Triforce? Oh, well, that's specifically the Triforce of Wisdom that Impa split into 8 fragments once Ganon invaded Hyrule. She's the one who then hides them in each of the dungeons and is instructed by Zelda to find a hero who is brave enough to challenge the dungeons and reassemble the Triforce? Why? What's the point of that? Smashing the Triforce and hiding the pieces only to make someone else come along and gather them up accomplishes nothing, while the big bad Bacon Man sits in the throne room. To be fair, Ganon did steal the Triforce of Power, which he later drops in a gory puddle of blood and sinew after you brutally murder him. Gotta love the pre-ESRB world. Hold on, so Ganon has the Triforce of Power, Link's gathering the 8 shattered pieces of Zelda's Triforce of Wisdom. Where's the Triforce of Courage? Huh? It's called a Triforce. Where's the third one? There is no third Triforce in this game. What do you mean there's no third Triforce? Are you assuming its quantity based on its prefix? Yes? Prejudiced bigot. I'm a singular he, him, by the way. Yeah, the beard kind of gave that away. And from where I'm sitting, you're looking pretty plural to me. I really love the main theme, and it sounds especially great on the superior Famicom Disk System hardware, and all around, it's pretty good. Pretty good? This is Koji Kondo! Koji Corn Dog? Who's Koji Kondo? I don't know, maybe the guy who made this? Oh, and this. And this. A few other random no-name games like this. And 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 this. Oh yeah, that's it. No, just kidding. And this. And this. And this. And this. Okay, I get it! This single man is the Mario, Star Fox, and Zelda composer who literally defined all of his games with incredible iconic masterpieces that became memorable staples for decades. We're still talking about the bippity-boop NES, right? Composing music and sound effects, much less legendary, iconic tracks no less, with only 5 sound channels on the NES is true genius. The pose voice enemy doesn't die to noise like it does on the Famicom Disk System because the NES doesn't have a built-in microphone. Appreciate the art! After releasing this hot pile of garbage, the Zelda team decided to go back to basics and reimagine the original game in modern day, resulting in this gem. Honestly, Breath of the Wild would have been even better if it took even more inspiration from the original. However, I'm still thrilled with the attempt regardless. Ironically, this game made for the pre-internet 80s with its cutting-edge internal battery save feature holds up pretty well today with online maps, guides, and a save state function. Okay, fine. I don't care if you appreciate all the geeky stuff that I do, just play it! Well, the positive gamer in me actually enjoyed the original Legend of Zelda enough to reconstruct a mighty 8 out of 10. If you're up for giving some retro games a whirl, this NES classic is an outstanding way to dive into the past and have a great time with a map. The critical gamer in me had his heart struck with a silver arrow, awarding the NES Legend of Zelda a golden 10 out of 10. It's fitting that the cartridge's gold plating, signifying its new battery feature, would ironically come to symbolize the sheer reverence the entire world of gaming owes the single block of ingenious code. But what do you think? Let us know how your positive and critical sides rate The Legend of Zelda in the comments below. How did it take me so long to review the original Legend of Zelda game? It's outstanding, and might as well be made of solid gold. And if you don't think it deserves it, then you're just playing with yourself. Or Scarlet Nexus, which I'm still not sure if I'm gonna go back and play because, oh my god, that was seriously like banging my eyes. You guys know what floppy disks are, right? This isn't too outdated. I mean, I'm sure I have some of these somewhere in my house, but why on earth did I keep them? Anyway, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe for more, and use the links in the description to nominate your own episode. And thank you to all of our Patreon members, Atomic Thomas, Arrow, Minya, and Sid. Booyah!